Morning, breaking down Michigan women's basketball. And Ira, how about this? On a game day, no less.
Game day, Sam.
Is Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes Arico. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
I don't know if we've done this before. I don't know if we've ever spoken on game day before, but appreciate you joining us this morning to talk a little hoops.
Thank you. You're making me nervous talking on game day, but I think we'll be okay.
All right, Coach. So, last week your team was back in action, and you hit the floor and you took on Wake Forest, and it was a thumping as you went out and took care of the Demon Deacons by 14 points. Kind of take us through the contest.
Well, we came out of the gates really focused and locked in and ready to play, and they had a young lady coming off a 40-point performance, and we put Nicole Elmblad on her, and Hamby came down and scored 2 baskets quickly, so I was a little nervous, but then we did a great job. Nicole did a great job, and it was really great team defense. Everyone around her, Saisha Goree, and the rest of the team really helped to defend her, and I think we wore her down late in the second half. She scored 2 points the last 10 minutes of the contest, so we did a great job on her, but we were really scoring. Shannon Smith was phenomenal. She was 10 for 15 from the floor, but she distributed the ball. She bounded the basketball. She played exceptionally well, so we came out really strong early and got up, I think, 20 early.
Yeah, Coach, it was one of those things where you had the defensive assignment, but then you certainly the other end of the floor is also crucial when Shannon Smith came through. I'm looking at the stat line now. 10 for 15 from the field, and, Coach, she got to the free throw line pretty regularly, 6 for 8 from the line. And this also speaks to something that you mentioned maybe last week or the week before, but her doing everything. She's doing a little bit of everything so far this year. 6 for 8 from the foul line, 6 assists and 3 steals, Coach. So she's playing defense again too.
Yeah, she was just incredible, and that's kind of been, what we've challenged her with this year is to be that complete player, to be that all-around player. Being so undersized, and she's our smallest kid. I mean, she's lucky if she weighs 100 pounds. We challenge her every day to rebound, and right now she's second on our team in rebounding, and she's really bought into that as well as defending and making people around her better. I said her best, Saisha had a rough night making some layups, but if Saisha made some layups, Shannon probably would have had a triple-double. So that's the kind of game that she had. I mean, she was just really incredible, and I think she was honored by the Big Ten this week.
Yeah, player of the week.
For her performance. So now we just challenged her with being consistent night in and night out. And if she could do that, I mean, that would be a great benefit to our team.
Yeah, and I got to go back to one thing. I mean, generally, when I look at the rebounding stats, Coach, we're looking at Saisha leading the way. And I think it speaks to your team that Shannon Smith was the one that led you in rebounds the other night with 10 boards.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and Saisha, every night she's going to mix it up. She's going to get in there. She's going to rebound. She has an incredible motor, especially on the offensive end. But for Shannon to get in there on the defensive end and really come away with some rebounds when we're switching defenses and playing a little zone was really incredible because that takes effort. I mean, you really have to go after it. You really have to block out. And she's kind of bought into doing that, and it's paid major dividends for our team.
Talking to Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes Arico here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. So Saisha, 17.6 boards. Coach, when you made your lineup change and you brought Madison into the starting lineup and brought Caitlin off the bench, we talked about the impact that the impact it had on Caitlin, how it gave her, took off a little pressure, and the rest of the team wasn't just watching her do her thing. We didn't talk about what impact it had on Madison, and Madison in the starting lineup, she was extremely efficient. She was your third leading scorer, but 3 for 4 from 3-point range and 13 points and 6 rebounds on the night.
Madison was incredible, too. And here's another young lady who we really challenged to rebound the basketball. We know she could shoot the ball really well, but to do other things. And, I think Madison struggled initially when she first got to college of what does coach mean by that, and how can I really help the team other than scoring, because that's what she did in high school. And she has just stepped up. She was great for us on the defensive end. She took 2 charges, which the entire season last year I couldn't get her to take one. She took 2 charges in a game. Sam, when I tell you she was fist pumping about her charges, she was so excited, more than scoring any basket, that she stepped in and was able to take a charge and help her team on the defensive end. So she has just really brought into being a complete player and help our team do other things. And she's been great in the starting lineup. I think it's given our team a calming effect as well as an experience. And she's doing a great job, and it's helped our team chemistry so much.
Yeah, and you're 4-0. You're 4-0 since going to that lineup. I mean, obviously there are other things that play into it, but it certainly seems to have had the desired effect for your club so far, Coach. Offensively, as a team, you guys were really, really efficient. I mean, is there a particular reason that you point to why you guys was it just an on night for you? Was it offense spurred by your defense? Why were you guys so effective from the field in this particular game?
I think it's definitely a combination of those things. I think our defense really led. Getting stops on defense really gave us the ability to out transition, and Shannon is so great in transition. I think the other thing, and this was a great trait our team had last year, and we're starting to do that more and more this year, is we share the basketball so well. We really don't care who scores, and we really want to make the extra pass, and Shannon demonstrates that all the time, but everybody else follows that lead. So we're very unselfish, and we make extra passes, and we try to find the hot hand. And when you have multiple kids that can knock down threes on your team, it really opens up the floor for other people. So I would say we just share the ball extremely well, and our defense gave us the ability to get out in transition.
All right, so, Coach, one thing that kind of jumps out, I mean, this is the last thing before we talk about Princeton. Looking at your stat line, your starters log, heavy minutes. Only one of all of them over 30, but only one under 33. Is that something that you think you're going to be able to sustain over the course of the season, or is that a concern? Or are you going to try to get more players maybe to take a little of that minutes, a little of that playing time load off of those players?
Well, that's a great question. And it's funny because I heard Coach Beeline answer this similar question yesterday. And it's interesting because we have 5 freshmen, and they're really talented kids. But everything is so fast for them right now, and the speed of the game is so fast, and the physicality of the game, and they're just learning, and they're getting their feet wet. And our schedule has been so incredibly difficult. I think our RPI yesterday was up at 11. So our schedule has been so tough that we haven't really been winning games by a ton and giving these young kids an opportunity to gain that experience on the court. So they're getting it each and every day in practice. But we gave it an extra day off to our starting crew this week to really rest their legs, and really spent a lot of time in the gym with our young kids and trying to develop them and trying to help them improve, and really rapidly. Our assistant coaches do such a great job, and the kids spend so much time with them, really just trying to work on their game and gain their confidence. So it's a work in progress. I think our young kids are going to be terrific, but they're just adjusting right now, and it's taken a little bit of time. But once they continue to improve and get some confidence, that'll take some minutes off of our starters.
We're talking to Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes-Arico here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com for a few minutes more. She has a game tonight that she hopes you make it out to, taking on Princeton, 6:30 at the Chrysler Center. So, Coach, give us an idea. Tell us what Princeton brings to the table.
Princeton is an excellent basketball team. They have an excellent program. They've gone to the NCAA tournament a number of times the last 10 years. I think they've been every year. They really do a great job. Their coach is an excellent coach. And Coach Moore, one of our assistants, was at Princeton for 5 years before she came to Michigan. So hopefully that gives us a little bit of the inside track. Mm-hmm. But they have a great team. They're really solid. They're experienced. They are led by a bunch of seniors that have kind of been down this path before. They're off to the best start in program history. And they're very similar to us. It's funny, when you look at the statistics, it's eerie how similar they are in each stat to us. And, they're very balanced. They have 4 kids averaging double figures. So it'll be a great contest for us tonight, and it will really test where we are at this point in the season.
Now, Coach, I'm going to do something I generally don't do, but I'm only doing it because it's a huge game as you're going down to take on number 5 Notre Dame. Just a few words really quick about what Notre Dame is, what they bring to the table. I know you don't like to do it, but Number 5 in the
I'm still
country.
leaving that one up to Coach Duffy. Coach Duffy was All-American at Notre Dame, so she knows their system really well, too. But they are phenomenal. Coach McGraw is one of the best coaches in the game, and she just has an outstanding program with some really tremendous. Jewel Lloyd is one of the best in college basketball right now, and she leads their team. So they're a great program. That's going to be an incredibly tough matchup, but it's going to be exciting for our kids to have an opportunity to play in front of 10,000 fans at one of the best programs in the country. So I think, a lot of our players, came to Michigan to win a championship here. So we want to try to put them in that environment while we're trying to do that through the process, to let them experience what it's really like to play at a top team, a team that's won national championships in front of 10,000 people. So that should be fun. But we got it.
One game at a time.
Tonight first. Yeah, definitely.
I got you, Coach. I know you well enough by now to know it's one game at a time. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks so much, Sam.
All right, thanks a lot. That was Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes Arico. They take on Princeton tonight, 6:30 at the Chrysler Center. So make it on out. Support the Maize and Blue if you can. As she said, the RPI is up around 11, and they're 6-1 so far this season, undefeated at home. And they try to extend that streak tonight versus Princeton. All right, it is 8:17 on a Tuesday, 734-998-1050. You can tweet us at Michigan Insider. You can email us at studio@WTK.com. We're going to be talking about the Michigan football bust, as it was not the same size as it is typically, but it was still very good. Number of poignant speeches. It was somewhat awkward, but not as awkward as I thought it was going to be. I mean, because of the awkwardness, because of, you had a staff there that, is not employed anymore. But they came out anyway to support their guys. So we'll talk about that on the other side here and some of the takeaways when we return here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, the official voice of University of Michigan.